And now, moving on here, President Trump remains in the hospital for now, but the latest briefings indicate his condition's improving, and he could be discharged as early as later today, according to the White House physicians. Meanwhile, the president left his hospital room to pay a surprise visit to supporters outside. Now, here's the latest.
President Trump leaving his hospital room, making a short trip, waving to his supporters from a motorcade, then returning to the hospital.
The only reason why someone with COVID-19, severe COVID-19, causing hypoxia on multiple IV drugs, should ever be leaving the hospital would be in an ambulance to be transferred to a higher level of care. Being inside a vehicle that is hermetically sealed circulates virus inside and potentially puts people at risk.
The president's medical team says he is improving and could leave the hospital as soon as Monday. The White House sharing photos of the president working in the presidential suite of Walter Reed National Military Medical Center.
The fact of the matter is that he's doing really well.
Despite the rosy assessment, the president's doctor is facing scrutiny for sending mixed messages on the president's health and condition.
Yesterday and today, he was not on oxygen.
Over the course of his illness, the president has experienced 2 episodes of transient drops in his oxygen saturation. I recommended the president we try some supplemental oxygen, see how he'd respond.
The White House pushing back against allegations of mixed messaging from Dr. Conley.
You have our commitment. We're going to continue to be transparent and give you all the facts.
It's been a very interesting journey. I learned a lot about COVID. I learned it by really going to school. This is the real school. This isn't the let's read the book school. And I get it.
Now we're joined by Dr. Bharat Pankania, senior lecturer at University of Exeter. Always good to have you with us here. Appreciate your insights for ourselves and our viewers here. Looking at the president here, I want to get your thoughts on, first of all, his condition, which appears to be improving, and his treatment regimen, which from all accounts appears to be extensive. What are your thoughts on some of the treatment methods they've given him, including the dexamethasone, steroids, and whatever else we know?
I feel sorry for the medics, because they will be under tremendous pressure to do this, and this. And I remember when Prime Minister Johnson was similarly unwell, I gave the advice, and my advice was stick to what you would normally do for your patients. Don't go overboard and don't throw the kitchen sink unless it's required. And same here, you need to keep your steely nerve and don't be distracted by so many thousands of other medics wanting you to throw the kitchen sink at the president or the prime minister. President Trump looks well. I do not see any signs of somebody who has got a viral pneumonia, short of breath, coughing, hesitant breath, etc. So I feel he's okay.
Is there any indicator from what's at least been made public of what's helped him, of which treatments were effective, or do we just not know that much yet?
We will never know, because we should never base our findings on the sample size 1. What we do know is most probably President Trump has been given lots of medications that we would not normally give to ordinary patients. And that also, raises question marks of, are we really treating this properly, or are we just throwing everything because the person happens to be president? Using dexamethasone in an otherwise well person is not indicated. Remdesivir also doesn't have any evidence that it's going to save your life. So we will never know exactly how ill President Trump was and what made him better, if anything.
Doctor, while we have you here, I want to get your thoughts at large here. We bring this up a lot with you, the vaccine research being done around the world here. What's your take on where things stand now? There's been a lot made about some advances.
Yes, so we will get a vaccine. That is not in doubt. But what we need to be aware of is it is not the magic bullet. Between getting a vaccine on the license books to finding out how long the immunity lasts is a long term. And then the second thing is actually immunizing a large swathe of the human population. So vaccines are not going to get us out of this trouble that we are in with this pandemic.
Dr. Pankania, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.